Okay, so I need you to know this about this episode. I wanted to have it recorded last week before I left my office for the holidays. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. The overachiever and perfectionist in you needs to hear this. This episode, in my opinion, is not good. It would have been so much better last week if I could have gotten it done. However, I ran out of time. I was on a roll, full of excitement, full of energy. Just the momentum was there, loving everything. But I made a commitment to my family, to my home, to God, that on a specific day, at a specific time, I was clocking out and I would be back this next week. And it's next week. And I am struggling because the momentum isn't there. It feels very foggy and I feel like it seems muddy, and it's like I'm trying to pick up the momentum and I just want to be back where I was. Last week I was having really good brain days, and I have, like, most of my days are really, really good. Like, I don't have bad brain days much anymore. However, currently I'm struggling. There's a lot going on though. I think I'm processing a lot of things that I don't feel comfortable sharing. And so it's kind of one of those things where I have to show up, I have to do my best, and I have to let God do the rest. And so I share that with you in hopes that you will give me grace, but also that if you get nothing else from this episode, you take that away. That some days you just have to do your best. And that's all you can do. And you surrender. You just surrender. Like, here it is, Lord. You know, the widow who only had pennies gave what she had, and it was honorable. Sometimes when we know what wealth feels like, or we know what good days feel like, we discount when we only have pennies to give. But God is gracious and he honors even when we only have pennies to give. And so today, when I'm struggling, I want you to know that these pennies that I have to give, I just pray blesses you more. And normally it does. Like, that's what I know. The days that I show up and I'm like, man, that was terrible. God does so much more with it than I ever could imagine. And so I just show up and I do my best. I have a Spotify playlist that literally says God will provide. And this week, when I'm trying to get the train moving again after being off enjoying my family, I put this playlist on and I'm like, okay, God, like, I just need you to provide energy, momentum, stamina, clarity, and I'm going to do my best. And that's all I can do. And so I share that as you begin listening to this episode. And again, friend, come join me in the screen time reset. I think that's part of my struggle, is I'm so passionate about the screen time reset, except that right now my brain feels like mush, and like the passion I have, I don't feel like is exuded well in this episode. But I want you to trust me and just come sign up. Come sign up. Be a part of the screen time reset, because we all can probably stand being away from screens just a little bit more than where we are currently. I'm Melissa Batt, and this is God-Sized Dreams, the go-to podcast for Christian women who know they were made for more, but feel overwhelmed, exhausted, and stuck in survival mode. I'm your Jesus-loving hype girl, here to help you break free, build simple, healthy rhythms, and take small baby steps towards the life God has for you. If you're ready to trade fear for freedom, you are in the right place, friend. Let's get to it. Hey, friend, welcome back to God-Sized Dreams. Today, we're talking about something you probably see a lot, even when you're not looking for it. What did Thanksgiving, or just this last week, reveal about the screen time habits in your home? I know not everyone celebrates Thanksgiving, so if that is you, let's just talk about what we notice in general, because it's not just during the holidays that this happens. It's all the time, right? We're talking about the screen time habits. We're going to continue this conversation for a few weeks. So I hope you don't get tired of me talking about it, but it's something I'm super passionate about. So what did you notice when it came to the screen time habits in your home? Because if you're anything like me, the past couple of weeks have shown you things you cannot unsee. The holiday season is such a gift for awareness. Rhythms shift, routines break, people gather. Life is supposed to slow down just a little, and suddenly you start noticing things you normally overlook. Do you see kids scrolling at the table? Do you catch yourself checking your phone in the middle of a conversation? Do you watch people at restaurants scrolling instead of connecting? Do you feel more distracted, more restless, more anxious? Not to judge, but just to observe, because I think it's all of us. Over Thanksgiving weekend, I got curious. So I asked the people in my home to check their screen time data. And I want to share with you what I found out. It's not something we're proud of, but everyone spent about 5 hours a day on their phones. Their pickups were between 100 and 168 times a day, and notifications ranged from 94 to 296. But I also want you to know that there was one day when, and this is before Black Friday for the record, this is not all, like this is before Thanksgiving, but that week, my phone had 306 notifications. Y'all, this is why my phone is on Do Not Disturb almost all the time, because every single one of those notifications, that buzz or the ding or vibration, whatever, I would have lost my focus. I have this little sticker in my office that reminds me that every interruption costs you productivity, focus, and time. Is it worth it? And honestly, here's something else. Those interruptions don't just steal productivity. They also steal presence, peace, connection, mental clarity, and even our ability to hear God. And listen, I am not perfect in this. I'm not sharing this from a place of perfection. In fact, I'm struggling really hard right now with lack of focus and wanting to be on my phone. I pull out my phone during commercials, sometimes even during a show my husband and I are watching. Sometimes it's necessary, but other times it's just a habit, just like you. And the holidays have a way of bringing those habits to the surface. Let's talk about this for a minute, the procrastination. One thing I noticed in myself the past few weeks is how sneaky procrastination becomes. For me lately, online shopping is seriously a problem. Not because I need to, although I do need to, we're in the holiday shopping mode, but because it's right there. I'm getting endless amounts of notification, all kinds of deals, and they rope me in. It's why oftentimes I have to sit my phone in the other room. I will check out this deal real quick. I'll compare prices. Let me see if this gift is still on sale. And 20 minutes disappear, sometimes an hour disappears. And that's what distraction does. It's not always the big obvious things. It's the slow drift, the tiny ways your attention gets pulled in 100 directions. It steals our time. But it also steals the mental space you need to do the things God is actually asking you to do. And before I go any further, I'm talking about this screen time reset. I want you to know, again, hear my heart on this. This isn't about getting off your phone altogether. For most of us, that's going to be impossible. And it's not always practical either. It's not practical. We have to be on our phones, looking up, the item that I need from the grocery store. I put notes in my phone. All kinds of different things. I'm using my phone. So it's not practical to be off of it altogether, but we can get specific. And that's what I'm going to do. This is about getting specific and asking, where's the one place where a tiny change could make the biggest impact? Maybe it's the hour your kids get home from school. Maybe it's bedtime when you're reading one last story. Maybe it's the dinner table. Maybe it's Sunday afternoons. Maybe it's even the car waiting in the pickup line. For me, it's definitely bedtime. and time with my husband. I've realized how many conversations I could be having with my husband if neither of us had our phones out right before bed. And honestly, that's the only uninterrupted time we normally have as a couple without teenagers, right? So that space matters. And I don't want the last thing we see at night to be our phones. I want it to be each other. And I'm just realizing we need to get better at this. And this is where in the screen time reset we will talk about. So I have identified this is an area where I struggle. How can I get better? Part of the problem is we're going to bed so late that we're so zoned out that we don't want to talk to each other. We are tired of talking. So again, we troubleshoot. That's what we do in the screen time reset with our weekly calls. We troubleshoot. I want to get better at this, but this is an issue. And what I find is when I go to bed, I'm so dang tired, I don't want to talk. And I remember there was a moment with my therapist. I was wanting to be more intentional with spending time with my kids and my husband, but I also knew I was exhausted and so tired of talking, just overwhelmed in every area that I didn't know how to show up for them and not talk. And so we baby stepped our way into that. And that's what I want to challenge you to do as well. And so again, this is a specific thing that I'm choosing to protect. This is the area that I want to focus on over the next 12 weeks. Just this one area of bedtime. Is it going to be perfect? In a perfect world, it would be. But girl, we don't live in a perfect world. We are doing the best that we can do, and that's good enough. That's my baby step. That's the one small shift that is already changing the atmosphere of my home. And now I want to challenge you. What is something you can do? First of all, maybe it's not going to the extreme of not taking your phone to bed. Maybe it's having all your notifications off. Maybe it's spending time with your phone on Do Not Disturb. Maybe it's unsubscribing from texts that you don't need. There's all kinds of little things that you could be doing to help you. Leaving your phone in the other room is a great thing, but we've already talked about that, right? I think there's been 2 additional episodes before this one on this topic of screen time. And so I want to challenge you to go look at those episodes and do those things as well. I will also tell you that while everyone was on their phones at my home, not everyone, because I tried not to be, but a lot of people were on their phones during our Thanksgiving break when we had all of our family here. And y'all, it was beautiful. All of our family was here. And this was the number one thing that I noticed when it came to people being on their phone. They were overstimulated, which is crazy because our phones make us more overstimulated. But because we're so dysregulated, it's like our phones help us not be overstimulated. It's a stimming activity. And I don't know the science for that, but I know it is definitely a thing. And I noticed that a lot of people that got on their phone, that's why they got on their phone. They were overstimulated. Also, the biggest thing I competed with for the love was football, which I love football, but I just wanted to play board games with my family and they all wanted to watch football. It's fine. It really is. It's fine. But we did get to play some games. We had a gender reveal and it's a boy. For those who know my family, know that boys run in the family. I thought it was a boy all along, but they did try to trick me into thinking it was a girl. So we have a grandson coming this May. Super excited about that. But more importantly, it was just nice to have all of our family in one house under the same roof all weekend. It was such a good time for me and I could cry just thinking about it. Okay. And if you're feeling the pull to be more present, more grounded, and more connected, especially as winter settles in, I'd love to help you with these tiny steps inside the screen time reset. Remember, this isn't about perfection. It's about finding the area that matters most and taking one small, tiny baby step at a time. You can join the screen time reset using the link in the show notes, and I hope to see you there. Remember, if you join in the month of December, you get some bonus calls on Mondays, but we officially start in January.
And that's a wrap, friend. If today's episode spoke to you, don't let this be the moment you hit pause and go right back into that same cycle. Whether you're ready to go all in and commit to 6 months of breakthrough coaching, or you only want a single unstuck session right now, you'll find all the links in the show notes or on my website at Melissa Batt. That's Melissa Batt with 2 T's.com/breakthrough-coaching. Let's keep taking those baby steps together.